Today's video is going to be a quick rant against overly entitled English-speaking travelers. And don't get me wrong, I'm an English-speaking traveler too. English has always been my first language, and it always will be. Unless I invent a time machine, I suppose.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Yeah, like I've also lived in a lot of countries where English is not the first language. And I've noticed this trend amongst my fellow brethren, my fellow brothers and sisters, the English-speaking world. We are pretty entitled, and we can be pretty lazy when it comes to learning other languages, especially people who grew up in parts of Canada or the United States or Great Britain. You're like, well, everyone around me speaks English, so why should I learn anything else? And that simple way of thinking has grown in the English-speaking world. And today, especially with the internet and all of the media consumption, all the movies, all the music, all the television, all the YouTube videos like this, it's become the global language. You can go to most places and get by speaking English. You can go to the Hong Kong airport, well, okay, Hong Kong speaks English, but like you can go to a Shanghai airport in China and you can see below the Mandarin Chinese, you can see English, just as you can go to Rio de Janeiro and below the Brazilian Portuguese, you can see English. And yet, from that point, from that position of having itself as kind of a global language, English speakers grow entitled, and they often feel as if they are owed a conversation in perfect English.
Did you know that there are over 5 languages in this world? We need just American.
And I can't tell you how many times this has happened in my own life where I can be in a foreign country and I'll be at a Walmart or some other equivalent of a Walmart, some giant like shopping place, and there'll be some English-speaking expat or tourist, and they will be asking a question in English. The person who barely speaks English will be like, let me ask my boss. And the person will just be like speaking very quick English and being like, what do you mean ask your boss? You don't understand what I'm like? They'll just be speaking normally as if they're in New York City or something, and just getting like more and more annoyed, being like,
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
we English speakers, not all of us, I try not to do this too often myself, and I know a lot of the viewers of this channel who are open-minded travelers as well, you won't try to do this, but there's a lot of people who do. And they bring that entitlement, they bring that sense that like, my language is better than yours, so you need to learn my language and I don't need to learn yours. Now, people will rarely come out and say that, but it's implied by the way they behave. You know, it's implied if you move to another country and you don't even learn how to say like 1 or 2 phrases and you just expect them to have like a perfect conversation with you when you need to open a bank account or something like very complicated. And you know, there's a great quote I want to share on this topic. It was actually what inspired me to make this video. And the quote is, never make fun of someone who speaks broken English. It means they know a second language. And this sounds very obvious, but it actually takes some time to sink in. It might be a revelation for some people. Every time you hear someone speak English poorly, speak English with a heavy accent, or speak English with a limited vocabulary, it's because it's their second or third or fourth language. Of course, they are not experts. And if you go through the process of learning another language yourself, you begin to sympathize with them for that. Because like if I hear someone speaking broken English, I'm like, well, yeah, my French is just as bad. Or my Spanish, you know, muy poquito. I have very little Spanish. Hola chicos, soy Dan. Soy Dan? Estoy Dan? Soy Dan. You know, I can understand the struggle. I can understand it and relate to it, and I can sympathize and even encourage their attempts to learn English. You know, but oftentimes you have people who have grown up in Canada or America and they've never learned another language, and they're so quick to judge other people for their English faults. They're so quick to say, if you come to America, you got to learn English. But then they go to France and they're speaking English and they're like, give me a number 5 at McDonald's. Okay, that's a cheap stereotype. Okay, like the American go to McDonald's. That was okay. You know, the point is, I'm sure it happens. I'm sure those conversations literally happen in the McDonald's in Paris. You know, you're not owed a conversation in your native tongue just because you speak English. You're not owed anything because you happen to be born speaking the most popular global language. And this is a message to myself too. You know, I'm not throwing shade at other people. I also need to do better. I think everyone needs to do better. I think language learning is never really done. It's like an active process that you just continue. If you can do that, you can be ahead of most travelers. You're gonna have a great experience in a foreign country. You're gonna make the locals happy, and you're gonna have better interactions with other people. And you're gonna make the world a better place, because when we can encourage positive interactions between different people from different countries, we bring people together, we make this world stronger, and we don't walk around like spoiled brats who only speak one language and expect everyone else to speak it. What do you think? Was that a necessary rant? I feel like that was a necessary rant.